Hi Rockers, Joe here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Spanish tortilla. The tortilla is a staple here in Spain. It's very, very popular. You can get it for lunch, dinner, or breakfast sometimes. Typically it's a lunch or dinner item here. Coming from the US, it's breakfast for me. We eat potatoes and eggs pretty regularly for breakfast, but I've adapted and I eat it all times of the day here. I'll be showing you my method for making Spanish tortilla. There's only a few ingredients, but believe it or not, it's a little bit hard to perfect. I'll show you what I like to do and the tricks I've learned being here in Spain. I hope you enjoy watching and following along. Thank you, Rockers.
This recipe will serve about 3 to 4 people. It's great to serve with brunch, lunch. In the US we'd eat it for breakfast, but here in Spain it's typically a lunch or dinner dish. So I like to cut my potatoes in half. We're gonna peel them first, of course, and then I like to cut them in quarters. Once you cut them in half, you'll have a nice flat surface to work with, so it makes cutting really safe and easy. We're going to set those aside in a bowl and move on to our eggs. First, break them up to make sure they're not sticking to each other too much. We'll crack 4 eggs here and whisk them, not a super heavy whisk, but just until they're mixed. Later on, I realized that I had a little bit too much potato, so I add another egg. But we'll just set that aside. Now, I have quite a bit of olive oil here, and it's about 2 cups of olive oil. And we're just gonna add our potatoes to that, a medium heat, and slowly bring it up. What we wanna be careful here is not to brown the potatoes. So we just wanna get them nice and soft, but not browned and not falling apart either. So we'll remove those when they're done. There is an option to use a lot less oil. You can use about a half a cup in a skillet and a lid, and you can just cook your potatoes in that. Obviously the oil kind of deep frying gives it a little bit more flavor. So those potatoes, we're just going to immediately move into the egg mixture. Add a little bit of salt, mix that. Then I have some caramelized onions. You can use just regular sauteed onions as well, but in this case I'm using some caramelized onions and a little goat cheese. Traditionally, there's a big debate whether onions or no onions, but for the most part you can do what you want. But traditionally here in Spain, you won't find these with anything without potato, egg, and onion. Some places will serve special ones with ham or goat cheese and caramelized onions like this. What we'll do is we'll just let this sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, and the egg and potato kind of come together to kind of bind. After that 10 minutes, we're going to add some olive oil to a nonstick skillet, and it's nice and warm. You don't want it to be too hot, and just kind of use something to flatten this out. I'm using a spatula. I really like the spatula for cooking tortilla. And we'll let that cook for about 4 minutes. The thicker the tortilla, you'll need to cook it for a little bit longer. That's a lid that we'll use to do our flip. This is the most dangerous part, but once you know it's been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes, you're pretty safe to flip. You can use your spatula, just go around it to create a nice uniform tortilla. You can flip again, which I like to do, and slide it back in the pan, kind of evens everything out, balances as well. It's looking beautiful now. We'll just let that cook for another minute or so. Some people like theirs well done. Some people want it to be runny inside. This one's like a little bit runny inside, but that's how I like mine. Not quite well done and not quite completely runny either. And that's it. You're all done. Serve with a little side of salt, and you can see it's a little runny, but it's also firm on the outside. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching, rockers. I hope you enjoyed the video.